Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, The Six-Figure Blueprint, with your MAPS coaches, Bill Crespo and Jackie Kravitz. Please note this webinar is being recorded and you will automatically receive the webinar recording. If you have questions for your coach, please type them into the questions box located in your webinar taskbar. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching program, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. That's fasttrack@kw.com. All right, that's all for me. Bill and Jackie, take it away.
All right, thanks, Jasmine. And Jackie, you're there?
Thank you, Jasmine. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, great. Well, guys, listen, as we do this, Jackie and I have been doing this for a couple times already, and people can tend to jump in. So hopefully people will be jumping on as we talk. We're going to go over something very, very important today. So take good notes. Jackie and I really want to share something to you that could be very dramatic and traumatic and make some better changes for you and your business. So hang in there. Some of you have seen us at the family reunion, and so we're excited about being here. Jackie, just give them a little bit of your background. I'll give you a little bit of my background, and just let them know a little bit about us. Some of these people that may not know us.
Yeah, I've been in real estate since 1995. Sold real estate for several years in South Florida. Have been coaching for the last 12 years. That's it. Lots of FISBOs and expireds on my selling background, Bill.
Yeah. So, gosh, I didn't know that. But 1985, I started. So this is starting my 34th year in the real estate business. Trained, and Jackie and I have known each other for almost 20 years, and we've been in training and coaching for a long time. I started coaching in 2005, and before that, I was training. So we're excited about bringing you the information that all the mistakes that we made in the past and what we found to be real successful is going to be shared with you today, the six-figure blueprint. Just want to remind everybody that if you want to get more information about us, to kind of keep in touch with us, go to the Prospecting Locker Room, which is a Facebook page that we have that you will join. It's private, so we'll be putting information there on a regular basis. So enter your name and we will agree, as long as you agree on the terms of being inside the Prospecting Locker Room. Also on on YouTube, we're also on YouTube. So for now, if you look up my name, Bill Crespo, you will have a YouTube channel. We're actually in the process of changing the name, so make sure you show up on that one. You know what fascinates me, Jackie, is it's interesting how many people sign up and how many people don't ever come on when you look at it.
I know.
Isn't it amazing?
I know. Yeah, I know. I see this all the time. The good news is the webinar is being recorded. So everyone who's here, if you want to listen back later to go over the information again, and those that don't make it today, they'll listen to the recording too. So for those of you who are here, yes, because being live on a webinar or a conference call, Bill and I are doing some coaching programs together that we'll talk to you about at the end of the webinar today. And when you're there live participating, they always absorb and learn so much more, right, Bill?
Yeah. So, Jennifer, aloha. Aloha. Jennifer, are you in Hawaii right now? Is that what you're saying? Because, I used to live in Hawaii. Yeah. Okay, good. I used to live in Hawaii. Kai lives in Kailua, so thanks for being on. So we got people from where else? If anybody else close to Hawaii, California people, just identify yourself on here so we know who's here. Today, what we're going to talk about is how to add New Orleans. Great, Benita, $100,000 to your business. So what we're going to give you is, if you're already making 100, we're going to teach you how to make several hundred thousand, but there's the six-figure blueprint will give you that. Now, here's what's interesting is that in this business today, what's going on in real estate is almost that you're almost have to be an expert in technology. That you're forced to understand certain things that really were never really taught. And when Jackie and I was in, Jackie, you know this, I mean, really that wasn't a big factor at all.
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct. Yes, so, things have changed the big time in the last 20 years. So.
Yeah, and so it's kind of taken us off focus of how to really take our business to the next level. Yes, it's important. Miguel, thanks, from San Antonio. So we get a little lost on what we've got to do. We're lost sometimes. And I know that there are certain fundamentals of this business that we're getting a little bit off track on that's caused you to get off of making the goals and being consistent in your income. And we want to make something very clear today. The track that Jackie and I want you to be on is a very simple track that we know that over the years is, if you do it and you do all of it, can earn you that $100,000 that you need. Hey, just saw Michael joining the prospecting locker room. We'll get to everybody in just a little bit to approve everybody in the prospecting locker room. So I want you to take out a piece of paper, just a clean piece of paper, because I'm going to give you the blueprint, but I need you to draw 3 circles that look very similar to this. Okay, you don't have to be, a Michelangelo here. Just draw 3 circles, okay?
Yep.
All right.
Very cool.
The 3 circles, it's almost kind of like the Olympic circle, but not exactly, right? So they all intertwine.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
And in that circle, Jackie and I are going to talk to you about what's on the outside and what's the inside of that circle. So be prepared that outside each one of those circles, there's going to be 3 elements that we're going to give you for your blueprint. All right. So if everybody has that drawn out already, some of you hopefully are not in your car, but if you're in your car and you pull over, fantastic. For those of you who are listening later on, take your time, draw it out, because this is going to be very important for you. Obviously now, because we have slides, we can go ahead and put the color, but I'm going to ask you guys a question. The heart of everything that we do in real estate, the reason why Jackie and I got in the business, the reason why we've had success, the reason why actually our passion for coaching and training right now is for some of the same reasons why you guys are in the business. And we know that the heart of what we want to do is to have the freedom to do the things that we want to do in life. I guess the question is, what is it for you? What is the freedom that you want to have? And Jackie, you know this because you live in Florida, I live in the Virginia Beach, and we're both doing things because we want freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can be different for every single one of them on the call.
We
what
like
that freedom looks like, right?
Yeah, we want to be next to water. You guys may want to travel more, but I really want you to take the time out. If you had the freedom to have more fun, to travel, or maybe to have an adventure, here's what I would like for you to do. I want you to type in, what would you do if you had more freedom? You guys participate. You guys look like a very much of a participating bunch. Last time we did this, people were a little slow. You guys seem to be really on it. So travel.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Travel.
Benita says travel. Yeah. Tell me where you'd go. What would you do with more freedom? Benita says travel.
Right. It could be more than one thing, right, Bill? I want to travel, have adventures, have fun. I want all of it. So for some people here, it might be a lot of different things that you would do. Spend more time with the grandkids. Ooh, I second that.
Yeah, Bora, Benita, I like that one. That's a great place. I just saw something on TV on that. Travel to Europe. Think about this.
Oh, Greece, yes. Yeah. Exciting.
Have more leisure time. Just think about it. What we want to give you is the plan that you can have more freedom. So we got to start. The heart of the blueprint, the middle of it is about freedom. Here's what you have to do is that you have to define what that is. You have to define. So in the middle, you could write the word freedom, but put down what that could be for you. I like what you guys are writing. You guys are thinking, which is great. You guys are much more participatory than the other group, but hey, we're excited. So here's what we want to do. To have freedom, there's several things that you and I both know, Jackie, we need. Number one is this.
It's money. You're not going to have freedom without money. It takes money to go on all these vacations. It takes money to whatever it is you want to do. I hear so many things that we're reading here. Even to take more time and enjoy time with your grandkids, with your parents. There are a lot of different answers here. Have more leisure time. It requires us to have money, because if you don't have enough, you're always worried about it, and you tend not to enjoy all the other things as much, right, Bill?
Yeah, and then with that, you've got to have more opportunities. So the money, to have the freedom, we have to have the money, which means we need more opportunities out there to capture that money. Yeah. And Jennifer, that's great. Jennifer says, I want to volunteer more. I think that's beautiful. I mean, and some of you may want to spend more time in your church, and I want to help missions around the world. There's all kinds of things that we want to do, but we better have more opportunity in our business, which means more situations that we can get more money, and that will provide us security, because we can't have freedom without money, opportunity, and some sort of security.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yay.
So,
we're into this for you guys. So inside of your plan here, those are your three things that you have to have the freedom. Now, what we're going to provide you right now is what we call the three keys. The three keys to having more money, to have the opportunity and have that security, to have the freedom. So the three keys, and let me just tell you guys, all the years we spent in business, and Jackie, you know this, I don't see anything else but these three keys to be fundamental to growing our business. Number one.
And I know sometimes agents are always looking for the magic answer, right, Bill? So here we go again. Here's the magic answer.
Lead generation is going to be a key to your business. I mean, you've got to understand that that's going to be huge. And once you have the lead, so whatever you're doing to capture, and you guys, some of you go, well, that's a duh. Well, I understand that. But how well can we do it so that we can make several hundreds of thousands of dollars in our business? Then once you have it, you've got to learn how to convert.
Yeah, Bill, we were talking about this the other day. You may have thousands of leads, and those leads are only as good as your skill and ability to convert them. Because if you don't convert the leads you have, first, if you're not lead generating, even if you are lead generating in whatever form of it is, and you're not able to convert them, you're back to square one.
Right. So converting, so we got lead generation as a key, converting it at a high level is a key, and then you have to build your business. You have to know how to build it properly. So these three things are what we're calling the three keys to going into building several hundreds of thousands of dollars in your business. Now here's what happens, and you know this, Jackie, from our business and what we've done in the past. If you're not lead generating, you're not going to have the opportunity. It's just not going to. It's not going to be there. So lead generation is a key to have the opportunity that you want. If you don't know how to convert, then you're not going to make the money.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? The money is not going to be there. And the last step, if we don't know how to build our business, there's not going to be any security. And that's going to be a key to the six-figure blueprint that we want to share with you today. We're going to break it down for you. Jack and I were talking about this earlier this morning, that we could probably spend a whole lot of time with you on this. So we want to give you enough of an outline that you can understand what goes on around these three keys. And so we call it the 9 accelerators. The 9 accelerators. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be taking you into each of these categories. So there's 3 major accelerators under each of these headings, under these keys: the lead generation, converting, and building. In these 9 accelerators, what happened to us is that we were able to do this, and we're still learning how to make you a master in each one of these categories. Because if you're not a master, it's just going to take you forever, and then you get frustrated, and there goes that freedom that you wanted, that freedom. So I want you to just relax a little bit today, because we're going to get into it. I want you to be open-minded. I want you to think like business people, not like real estate agents, please. Because we know that if you do, then if you act like a business person, you're more open-minded, you're looking at these things a whole lot differently. So, Jackie.
Yes.
Under lead generation, talk to them about this.
Yes.
We're going to give them
my favorite.
Right, over the phone. We're going to get into what in detail, but let's tell them what those 3 things are. So they're over the phone, right?
Over the phone, face-to-face, which is having a great presentation. You get on the phone to set appointments. Now you're face-to-face. And, of course, the technology, how to lead generate electronically. Those
3 accelerators are underneath lead generation, and we're talking about mastering each one of those. And then when you get into the convert side, we're talking about these 3 elements that you have to master: knowing how to approach someone without sounding salesy, and define that a little bit so they understand what that means.
I hear agents over the years in coaching, I hear so many agents worried about using the same scripts that everybody else is using. First of all, there's a conversational, non-salesy approach, Bill,
Yes.
there's a non-salesy way to communicate the scripts. And that's what we're talking about here. Because in order for you to convert the leads, most of you are in somewhat of a competitive market and you have to stand out. And that's a very critical piece that's going to get you to stand out
Right.
and not sound like everyone else. Yep.
And understanding along with that is to approach the client in a way that they don't see you trying to close them so hard where they're going to put up their defensive. So what we want to make sure you understand that there's a technique called reverse selling, which doesn't appear to put them on guard, which at times there's almost like there's a wall between us and a fence so that they're not giving us what we really need. So by learning how to do reverse selling techniques, you're able to get more of the information you need to move them to the next step. So that's a key element
Yeah.
to converting. And then you know about this one.
Oh yeah, it's so interesting because you and I both know Bill, and so many other coaches at MAPS that we've talked to over and over again. Lead follow up, effective follow up, because what good is it for you to generate leads? And we know that a huge part of your appointments are going to come from following up, and you don't follow up effectively, so your leads fall through the cracks.
And that connects to lead generation. So there were statistics years ago, and I don't know if it still holds true now, but let me just give you that 70% of your appointments that you're setting will come from lead follow-up. So if you're just lead generating and not effectively lead follow-upping, if that's a word, you're losing a lot. You're losing a whole lot of business, and you're not setting the appointments. So someone asked the question, will you cover lead generation other than calls? Yeah. Well, we're going to cover the concept around it. Obviously, we can talk forever about this. So I'm going to give you enough information that will help you, because lead generation doesn't have to be calling, right? It could be face-to-face.
Right.
You may be door knocking. It could be, hey, I've got to send out electronic medium information. Will social media, whether it be texting, we'll touch on that before we hang up today. The other side of it is the build side of your business. And the build side of the business, we both agree that if you want to make consistent income, you've got to be in 5 lead sources on a regular basis, minimally, right?
Yeah, and that's key, Bill, because I know that agents are always looking for an easy way, or how can I get away from getting on the phone? How can I get away from having to have these conversations? Sure, there's social media and there's electronic contacts, and at the same time, I believe, Bill, and I'm sure you agree with this, we're in the business of communicating. For you to really create all of the income to give you the freedom you're looking for, you got to learn how to communicate with people powerfully. You got to talk to them. You're not just going to be able to make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year selling real estate if you never talk to anybody. So 5 lead sources.
Right. And minimum 5.
Yeah.
Minimum 5.
Absolutely.
You may want to have more. So when you have those lead sources, go ahead.
I just remember something, Bill. On a family reunion, Gary said that mega agents, 90%, he said this from stage, 90% of their business comes from 5 lead sources. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then with that, we've noticed that the top producers and the people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars have to have what we call a pro schedule. A pro schedule.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to share what that schedule is in just a little bit. That's critical. I mean, you could sit there and lead generate all you want and not have a pro schedule, and you're going to have inconsistency in your business. And then the other side of it is that you have to track what we're doing. For years, we had to track our numbers, and we want you to track your numbers, but there's certain things that you have to be tracking. So in this process that we talked about, we're talking about the 6-figure blueprint. Now,
that's right.
What we've decided is that you've got to look at this entire plan here. All these 9 accelerators and the 3 keys that we've talked about to get you the freedom you want. You've now have to decide right now, look at this real closely. What is red, what is yellow, and what is green? Okay? Red, yellow, and green. And I'm going to define what that is. So I want you to, as you drew this out, right? Let's go back. You drew this out. I want you to put a little bit of information in each one of those areas, because R, I want you to put down R for red in areas of that blueprint that you need improvement. Okay, that you've got to improve on. Right now, that's really critical. I want you to put down R. Now, for something that you're working on, that, hey, I'm working on it right now, Bill, and it's not that bad, I want you to put a Y next to it and say, hey, those are things that you're working on. Okay. Then the ones that you feel, man, hey, Jackie, we've got this thing down pat.
Yeah.
I want to put a G next to it and say, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
We're going good. We're doing good on that. Everything's fine, going well. And those, so red, yellow, and green. Red, I've got to work on this. So we don't really have all day today. You don't have enough time to cover everything. So do me a favor. Can you just tell me right now what you put down? What did you put down?
Yeah, type it in for us to see.
Yeah, let's see what you put down. What is red for you? What is green? You can just put down red, green, whatever color you want. So red, effective follow-up. Okay, converting, Paula says. Go ahead. Yeah. Who else? Don't be shy. What is red for you? Lead gen.
Lead generation. Yeah.
Electronically. Okay. Technology. Okay. Red. Excellent. So this is the start of their plan. Okay. By you identifying what those are, that's the start of getting into the blueprint, identifying where your weaknesses are. Well, today we're going to hit on several areas. Number one, over the phone. We're going to also talk to you about the pro schedule. And we're going to talk about this non-salesy dialogue that shuts down the client automatically too fast, which gives us the responses that we don't want. All right. So I'm going to start off, and this is an area that Jackie and I love to talk about. I'm going to let you talk a little bit about this, Jackie, is this whole aspect of lead generating over the phone.
So, yeah, and the information that we want to share with you today is a little bit different than, we're not going to talk about scripts. We're going to talk about how do you set yourself up so that you can have powerful lead generation sessions and ultimately get appointments. And one of the things, Bill, I know this is coming up, you got to look into having the right tools and the right service or services to support what it is you're doing. Because with the amount of options of where to get phone numbers for and how to organize your leads, you got to choose the best and the right tool for you. Invest a little bit of money, because money is time, right, Bill? Sometimes they just say, well, this service or that tool costs X amount of money. When you're really committed to your business and you're committed to your lead generation, it's going to pay for itself over and over and over again, no doubt about it. So you got to have the right tools in place so you can have effective lead generation and not waste time doing stuff manually, let's call it, right?
And Jackie, just someone said this, and I want to clarify something because I think this is confusing. Over the phone does not mean just lead generating over phone, but there is an art of communicating, as Jackie said, over the phone to people. Because yes, you're going to have a lead that you picked up from I don't know, maybe from shopping, or maybe a friend gave you a lead. Now you have to make that phone call. That's a hot lead. You have to now make that phone call. There is a way of communicating over the phone, period, that gives you that effect. And one thing that we understand is that you have to stand.
Yeah, that's right. And this is just an energy conversation, right, Bill?
Yeah.
When you're standing up, your energy is so much higher, and it's going to take that, because if you're sitting down and you got the phone to your ear, and it's a lot easier to get distracted. Your energy is not at the level that it needs to be for you to get people excited about the possibility of meeting with you, period. And using a headset, there's so many options of headsets out there. Holding your phone is it's just not efficient. Get a headset, get a noise canceling headset. There's some inexpensive options, right, Bill?
Yeah. So So the other thing too,
Yeah,
by standing too, you have these products that are out there. You know, when I first started, I had to put like boxes on my desk, um,
God.
that which
Yep,
was kind of
me
weird
as
because
well.
I had to elevate my desk, and that was
Yep,
kind of weird. But as Jackie said, you've got products. I just had a lady say, "Oh my gosh, I bought a Vera desk. It was so great." I mean, that's like $300. But if this is
yeah,
part of you making hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're not talking about making 20 here, hundreds of
yeah, that's
thousands of
right.
dollars.
And you can find some more inexpensive options of a stand-up desk on Amazon, and they'll be pretty good. So make sure that you set yourself up, whatever it takes, so that you have the right tools.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this is going to be something that is part of your plan. We want you to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I think at times, as I've seen people in this business and coaching them, and as we've been training, there's a decision you have to make. Do I go down this path, or do I still struggle and never make the money? So there are some tools that you have to buy. So part of
Yeah.
that is to approach what I call the RFO, which is the RFO. I want you to write down the word RFO. And
Mhm.
there's several methods of talking to people over the phone, and we found that the RFO is one way of being highly effective when you speak to someone over the phone. And that was backed up recently by a gentleman, and I would suggest getting this book by Phil M. Jones called Exactly What to Say. Write that down, buy the book. It's like 15 bucks. It's a very powerful, small little book that will help you to have more influence and impact with people. And the RFO stands for Rejection Free Opener. The Rejection Free Opener. And he found that
Mhm.
this dialogue in the beginning of a script, or really when you talk to someone in person, doesn't make any difference. You go up to a counter at a hotel and say, "Listen, I'm not sure if you can help me." Watch the way they look at you. They like zoned in. And as many people that I've trained over the years that's using this go, "I can't understand it," but they stay on the phone longer when I say this. So the rejection free
Mhm.
opener goes like this. It goes, hey, I'm not sure if you can help me. I'm calling you about the home
And
for sale. It's so easy.
notice, let me just say this, Bill. For those of you listening to Bill, listen to how conversational you sound.
Hmm.
You don't sound scripted at all. And even this is a script, and you sound very conversational. It doesn't sound salesy at all. So amazing.
Yeah, and you're using this over and over. I use it. Hey, listen, at the airport, I'm at the airport. Hey, I'm not sure you can help me. I'm looking to
Yeah.
go up to first class, and they go, "Well,
Yes.
I can't help you." But you just keep
Yeah.
trying it and using it in all kinds of scenarios, whether it be door knocking, whether it be on the phone. It is a way that actually
Yeah.
triggers the brain. You're challenging that brain to listen when it does it. So use that in front of all your scripting, all your conversations in the beginning, and watch the reaction of the people. So that
Mhm.
covers you a little bit of what we want you to understand when you're talking over the phone, or really even face to face. Now that we get into the
Mhm.
conversion side of it, now we're talking about non-salesy practices that we're doing. So Jackie, over the years, you've been like an expert
Yes.
at this.
Yeah. Oh, I love this because anytime we ask agents what gets in the way of you lead generating more, specifically, as you know, Bill, and I know it was your strength too when you were selling real estate. My strength when selling was always FISBOs and expired. So I asked, hey, why don't you call FISBOs and expireds on a regular basis? And it's always because they have sort of like a fear that they won't know how to handle objections. So here's the deal. Okay, here's the magic answer for you. You don't handle objections over the phone. 99.9% of the time when you hear an objection over the phone, you're going to deflect it. I think that's so exciting because now you don't have to be dealing with a lot of objections. And I love this line because when they give you an objection, you simply say, that's an option, and you take the conversation in the direction that you wanted to go. This is a great transition, and it's a way to approve what it is they're saying and move on. So we only have so much time for to give you tools and material today, and yet there's just so much that I can talk about this, Bill, and you too.
All right, so let me go back to someone here that said, let's see here. Um, if you don't mind, guys, if you can't hear us very well, please let us know. Type on in. I think someone said, hey, they couldn't hear us, so it gets a little hard to hear sometimes. Let me see what it says. You guys are talking over each other, and it gets a little hard to hear. Okay, we apologize for that, and sometimes we're in two different locations, so we will get better at that. Thank you for that, and that came from Nicole. Okay, so if there's a problem, just continue to let us know that. So that's an option, is going to be your deflection. The other
Yeah.
aspect of having a non-salesy approach to your business, I want to go over something which I think is very important to do several things. Number one is to build rapport, to be more
Yeah.
empathetic with people, but also to find what is going on. And we're going to call that the pain funnel. There's a
I
lot,
love this, Bill.
yeah, there's
Makes
a
so
lot
much
going
sense.
on here. A lot going on here, so I want to take my time and show you this, and then Jackie and I are going to role play this together so you can understand how to do this. But the pain funnel is designed to have you go and have a conversation with someone that becomes much more effective than just what everybody else is doing. So if you look at this, if these are the steps, and hopefully you can see my pointer. I'm not sure if you can see my pointer here, but we're going to
Yeah, we
go
can.
from, okay, good. So you're going from logic to emotion. Okay, and there we're going to take them from here all the way down to the bottom, which is the true essence of the motivation or the true essence of the pain. Instead of what most people do. So I'll give you an example. Someone says, hey, I want to buy a big house. The first thing the agent does is go into MLS, start searching for big houses, and really doesn't develop that relationship to a deeper sense so there's a connection. So what
Hmm.
we're going to do for you today is we're going to go through this process. And I'm going to be the agent. Jackie's going to be the homeowner. And we're going to go over what we actually went over today. And I'm going to go over the steps with you, because the top, we're at this top level, that's what
Yep.
everybody else is doing. We're going to teach you the reverse and bring you down to where most people don't go. So here it is right here.
Yep.
Okay. So let's role play this and we'll take them down to it. And Jackie's going to be a homeowner, and I'm going to ask Jackie the question. So Jackie, let me ask you this. Why are you buying? What's the reason for buying a home right now?
Well, we just need a bigger place, Bill. We're this house is just small for our family.
Okay. So Jackie, where do you how big is your house now that you're living in?
We have about 1,500 square feet.
Oh, 1,500 square feet. Wow. That sounds big enough to do what you want to do.
Yeah, no, not really. We just don't have enough space right now, Bill.
Okay. So tell me more about that.
Well, we're having another baby. We already have two kids and another one on the way. So this house is not going to cut it.
Okay, let me just stop for a second, guys. Out of role play. The reverse is going in a reverse direction than what most people would do. So when Jackie said 1,500, I go, God, that sounds pretty big. And what happens when you tell someone that the house is efficient for them, they start telling you every
Hmm.
reason why it's not. Just like if I was at a
Yep.
car dealership and I'm sitting there as a salesman, the guy rolls up in a Honda and I'm on a BMW lot, and the guy goes, I go, why are you here? The guy goes, well, I want to buy a new car. Gosh, that car looks great. What is he going to do? Tell me every reason why that car is not great. And in a short amount of
Yep.
time, the reverse is so powerful. Then Jackie tells me that they plan on having a baby, and once they give you a little bit more emotion, that's when you say, tell me more about that so we can go down deeper. So I'm going to say, so Jackie, so
Yeah.
you're planning on having a child. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, we already have two kids, and this is only a two bedroom. So, and the two of them are already cramped there. There are toys all over the house. I mean, it's just not. We don't even have space for the crib for the new one. So we definitely need to move.
Yeah. So what I hear you say, that it's been a little stressful underneath this 1,500 square foot right now. And so what would that mean
Yeah.
for you? For you finally moving, getting the space you need for the new baby, everybody has their own
Well,
space. What would that do for you?
well, you know what it is? Like, we're on top of each other here right now. We don't have any backyard space. There are toys all over the house, and with a new baby, there's all the baby stuff. So I am sure that just when we get to the bigger house, we're looking for at least 2,500 square feet, 1,000 more. Everyone is going to be more relaxed, and it's just going to be more enjoyable to be home for everybody.
Okay, so let me stop for a second. Relax, enjoyable. So what we want to do is repeat back the pure essence of this move is in an emotional move to be more relaxed, to be able to have more enjoyment in the house. I've taken her through what we call the pain funnel and took her down all the way down to this area right here. Because what happens, guys, is when someone decides to get a little squirmy, sometimes they kind of forget why they're doing something because, hey, gosh, Jackie, remember you told me that this move was all about you having more time with the kids and relaxing and enjoying yourself. And when she gets off track, I have to remind her of what the pain was. And sometimes you got to go back to the pain. And find out the motivation. So that's what's so powerful about the pain funnel. And that's something that we can discuss later in some other classes that we're going to be teaching. Very, very powerful. This is what's going to take you and look completely different than the competition that's out there. So let's go down to the next one because we only have so much time today, is to go into build. To go into build. Build is where you're going to now start to build this business up based on some fundamentals. And this one that's coming up here. We want to talk to you about having that schedule. I just got off the phone with several of my clients that they start saying to me, gosh, you know how it is. The schedule's getting run away from me. This came up, and I'm just totally off schedule. You've got to work on your schedule. And there's only really 3 parts to your day. That's all there is. That's all there is, guys, in real estate or in any sales organization. Only 3 parts. Lead generation, administration, and appointment time. I mean, Jackie, can you think of anything else that could be really?
There's absolutely nothing else. And you're not going to have any admin to handle or any appointments to go on. It all starts with lead generation. And this is one of the reasons why we recommend it in the morning, right, Bill? I know you're putting up the schedule right here.
Yeah. So if you just understand that 3 buckets in a day, you have to put the right activity and the right people in the right segment of the day. And it's interesting because an attorney will not change a schedule for you. In most cases, the doctor typically doesn't. And the consumer actually is more used to being in a scheduled situation that the professional gives them than the real estate agent. So the consumer is more understanding of schedule. Here's an example of what we call a pro schedule. This is where we lose them right
here.
There
it is. Yeah.
Morning.
Yeah.
Write this down.
And it starts right there, right, Bill? Because, I have something to do in the morning, so I'll do it later. I'll do it in the afternoon. I'll do it in the evening. We all know what that looks like because there were times when I told myself that story too, so we know it's not going to happen. Your lead generation needs to happen in the morning. Getting to the office by 8 a.m. What are you doing to make sure that you're in the office by 8 a.m. and your preparation in terms of knowing exactly who you're going to call. Bill and I did another webinar, right, Bill, doing the 5, I don't know, last week or 2 weeks ago, where we talked about this preparation a little bit with you guys. And then mindset is everything. You gotta know exactly what you're working towards and stay focused so you're ready for your prospecting from 9 until noon. That's where it's at.
And I think that for those of you who don't take a lunch, I think at times lunch could run away. I think you have to have a lunch. You do have to have a break. So what we used to talk to our clients about is, hey, in that 9 to 12 time, you're on the call for 50 minutes, maybe take a 10-minute break every hour just to give you some time to regroup. I don't think you just want to, please do not walk away from your prospecting. Now,
Bill, somebody wrote 9 a.m. till 12 a.m. That's 15 hours of prospecting. So it's 12 p.m. everybody. Okay. So
no,
yes,
I meant to put
3 hours.
No, I meant to put that there.
Right?
I meant to put 15 hours. No, I was kidding. Yeah, sorry, that's a typo. That's very good. And you should have seen what it said.
Good. They're paying attention. Thank you, Joshua. We appreciate it.
That was good. I thank you. And 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. lunch. So if you want to cut that down to a half hour and you want to move some things up, everybody has issues with their kids, other things going on. If you can control your week by 80% of the time, you control it and stay to the schedule. Let me just tell you, it's workable. Not just Jackie and myself, but we know a lot of people that have stayed on this schedule and made a lot of money, Jackie.
Yeah, 100%. And the afternoon, Bill, is going to fall into place. Yeah, because when from 8 a.m. until noon, you're focused on lead generation, because that 8 and 9 a.m., it is about your prospecting. And when you get your morning right, the afternoon is going to happen, because you're going to be on appointments. You're going to have leads to follow up on, and you're going to have admin to handle and manage. If you don't get the morning right, the whole day is just lost.
You know, and what this gives you is structure, guys. What we're talking about is structure, and the lack of structure really helps you to have inconsistency in your business. And someone just asked, what do you do if you're part-time? You know, part-time is tough. I don't even know what to say at times. If you can pick
Bill,
a day that you have a whole day, you can do this. But part-time, Jackie, what do you recommend?
Yeah, no, my first 2.5 years I was working part-time, so we can help them in that area. That's
Yeah.
how I started, working nights and weekends.
So you
Yeah,
have some sort of schedule even as a part-time agent. And remember
yeah,
that things will happen. You can control your morning much more effectively than the afternoon. And if you believe that you're going to prospect in the afternoon by not doing it in the morning, I've got a plot of land in Florida to sell you for like $1.50, because you don't know what's going to happen later on. Now, here's what happens. If you have no appointments in the afternoon, then you can get back on the phone. You can do some other activity in the 3 to 6 time frame. The goal here is that you put people in the right time slot. And as Jennifer just said, I think perfect, Jennifer, great comment. Discipline is freedom. Perfectly said.
yeah. There's a quote that talks about self-discipline is a form of freedom. It's one of my favorite thoughts. 100% true.
Yeah, love that, Jennifer. Thank you so much for that. So here's what we want to offer you in understanding, that you're going to have to step up to the plate. You're going to have to make changes today to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in business. And you've got to understand what part of the 6-figure blueprint has to be changed. What is red? What is yellow? And what is green? And I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to really think about this. We already said, what are those 3 areas? So we'll skip that question. The next question is, how much can your business grow if you made those changes on those 3 areas, like started right now? How much can your business grow? Like 2 more deals, 1 more deal a month? Could it be hundreds of thousands of dollars to your bottom line? I want you to type in. So Jennifer says no limit. So just Jennifer for a second, take those 3 things and tell me, what can that do to your business? How many more transactions could you have per month?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Let's see what she says. I want 50 deals a year. Miguel wants 50 deals a year. So you think, Miguel, that if you made those changes on those 3 areas, you would have those 50 deals? Is that what you're saying? Love it. Love it. Yes.
Yeah, and you see some answers, like there is no limit. When you master all the stuff we're talking about here, the growth is exponentially, like Chelsea said, Jennifer said no limits, and that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You can do 100 transactions a year, 50. You choose what your goals are, and you gotta know what's on the red here, like Bill said. So those are the areas that you're gonna start to focus on improving the most. It's all about awareness. You know, this creates a lot of awareness around what you need to be working on.
And you know what? Listen, guys, Jackie and I are pretty passionate about what we teach. I mean, sometimes we're talking, and if you ever hang out with us, we're constantly we're just full of energy. If you guys have been in front of us in some of our classes, this is the way we do. This is the way we are all the time. So here's what we want. We want you to have that change in your life. We want you to have that business change. And we want in 90 days, we want all this thing to transform your business and your life so that you have the freedom that you want. So these 9 accelerators are really key, because if we can get those 9 accelerators, if you and I working together, if you decide to ever work with Jackie and ourselves, we want all those to turn green. We want
Yeah.
everything to turn green. So here's what we decided. Jackie and I said, okay, listen, how do we make these people have the blueprint work for them? Well, we created the program that some of you already signed up, and I'm so excited that we have decided to create this program. The Power Prospecting Program, the group coaching program, starts real soon. So Jackie, just can you explain to them what that's all about?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts about a month away, Bill, like 4 or 5 weeks away.
Mhm.
April 23rd. The calls are going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so convert it to your time zone. This is a group program with Bill and I. It's going to be an hour a week, and the classes, or I should say the program, is a 6-month program. So there will be a total of 24 1-hour web classes with Bill and I, and it's just going to be awesome. Bill and I have been working on this now for months and months, and the more we talk, the more excited we get. Right, Bill?
Yeah. So it's $299 per month. Okay. Now this is the part where I got to tell you what it costs. So don't bear with us because we're going to load you up with we've got not only the blueprint, but if you were on our last group call that we had, we're also going to be providing you worksheets. This is going to be a comprehensive class, a course that's going to jumpstart your business. It's $299 per month for 6 months, 24 of those sessions with us, and it starts April 23rd. Now, if some people say, hey, listen, Bill, if I can pay it all at once, can I do that? Yeah, you get 1 month free.
Yeah.
If you decide I'll stroke a check for $14.95, no problem. We will do that for you. Now, here's what I'd like for you to do is to be able to get into the group, you're going to have to go to this little, go to the group session there in
Take a
Maps.
picture of it right now, and then, right, Bill? It's
Oh,
easiest
yeah, that's a
way.
good
Just take a
idea.
picture of the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then you could paste that into your browser. That'll take you to the details. That doesn't mean if you go to that, doesn't mean you register. It actually will give you the complete details of the course and much more effectively than what we can do today. So if you have questions, if you have like, hey, Bill, I got to ask you about this, or Jackie, I got to ask you about this, you can easily do that by emailing us at this info@pathtopro.net. Okay. And we'll be able to answer any of your questions that you may have. We're looking to have a community built around the blueprint and around the power prospecting concept. We want a community of people that have high energy and ready to have that freedom that they never had before. That's our goal. And that if you could see when you hang out with us, how much energy we have on this, it's all about you and you getting you to your next step. So Jackie.
And that's a great point, Bill, because in addition to the calls that they're going to be on with us weekly, this is about a community that you can be involved in with all of these agents. And Bill and I are working on that as well. So you can have accountability with each other, you can share ideas, you can role play, you can do all sorts of things. So together, you're all going to grow your businesses. And Bill and I are going to be supporting everything that you do and, of course, giving you great information every week.
Yeah, so don't be shy. I mean, really jump in, register today. We're loading ourselves up with materials right now to give you the worksheets and everything else. We're ready to start the party. We're ready to get you to your next level. So we want to thank you for being on today. Thank you for the opportunity of sharing this with you. I know that there's 9 accelerators. We only had time to do 3. The rest of that information you will be getting into the program. Jackie, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else you'd like to leave?
No, I'm good. I just want to say thank you again for taking the time. You're going to be getting a link to the recording of this webinar. So if you have any questions, again, info@pathtopro. Bill and I are here for you, and we look forward to having you in Power Prospecting.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Later, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.